Good evening. Welcome to APTN National News. I'm Melissa Ridgen. An administrator has been appointed to oversee Thunder Bay's Troubled Police Services Board. This is the second time in 4 years such an individual has been tasked with running the city's police. Fraser Needham has those details.
Lawyer Malcolm Mercer will be running the Thunder Bay Police Service for at least the next 6 months. He was appointed by the Ontario Civilian Police Commission, the province's police watchdog, on Tuesday. Anishinaabe Nation Grand Council Chief Reg Neganobi says this all comes as news to him.
I know Anishinaabe Nation wasn't included, and as far as I know, NAN wasn't included either. Anishinaabe Nation was not included in the decision either or consulted. I know that even the statement that they had released after we kind of did our press conference, there was no inclusion or reaching out to the actual First Nations who brought the issue forward.
Thunder Bay Police have been mired in controversy for years, with serious accusations of racism, incompetence, and shoddy investigations when it comes to the deaths of First Nations people. Northern Ontario NDP MPP Saul Mamakwe had this to say about Mercer's appointment.
I think it means nothing. You know, that the province, the city, the board is trying to make it look like as if they're doing something without really doing anything.
The force is currently being investigated by the Civilian Police Commission, Special Investigations Unit, and Ontario Provincial Police. Neganobi says at this point the only thing that makes sense is for the OPP to step in.
Demonstrated in the past that there's been opportunity to change and there's been effort to change and there's been plenty of reports put forward, but at some point the reports kind of get old, and it, you know, going through that process just kind of shows that there's no forward motion on it, so you have to take an alternative approach at some point.
An administrator was also appointed to oversee the Police Services Board in 2018. This followed a scathing report by Justice Murray Sinclair, which included 45 recommendations to address systemic racism in the force. In an email, Police Services Board Chair Kristen Oliver deferred comment to Mercer's office. Also in an email, Tribunals Ontario said it would not be commenting while the Thunder Bay Police Services Board is under investigation. Fraser Needham, APTN National News, Ottawa.
Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Mark Miller visited a Nova Scotia First Nation today to announce $326,000 to search the grounds of a former residential school, as well as programs to help survivors heal. The money is part of a $209 million over 5-year announcement by the federal government, but as Angel Moore reports, some feel left out.
I'm here in Sibäganagati First Nation. The Mi'kmaq community is next to the site of the former Shubenacadie Residential School, where over 1,000 children from the Atlantic region were taken to. Today, community members, elders, and Chief Mike Sack joined Crown Indigenous Relations Minister Mark Miller.
And this is the first step in what will no doubt be one of many in getting to the bottom of a very nasty reality that is the shame of Canada.
The community-led project is to gather knowledge from elders, honor the missing children, and continue the search of the grounds of the former residential school for possible unmarked graves. But community member Wendy Julian says more needs to be done for the children of survivors.
These children that have been left behind, that had to grow up without the things, the love, the attention, the affection, life skills. Those are, so those are the things that impact the second generation. And I'm just curious as to how they're going to address those issues.
Minister Miller said more funding will come. It's all part of Canada's commitment to the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's calls to action. Angel Moore, APTN National News, Sibäganagati First Nation.
Thanks, Angel. We always want to hear what you think, what stories we cover, or the ones we should be. Here's how you can continue the conversation. Send your emails to news@aptn.ca. You can leave a comment on aptnnews.ca. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Follow APTN News to join the conversation and see all of our latest stories. A large-scale search is underway for a missing 5-year-old boy on a Saskatchewan First Nation. An aerial search by the RCMP is part of the effort to locate Frank Young, who's been missing for more than 24 hours from his home on the Red Earth Cree Nation. The last confirmed sighting of the little boy was around 12:30 Tuesday afternoon. He was wearing rubber boots, pajamas, and a navy blue windbreaker-style jacket. Temperatures dropped through the day and it turned wintry around 9 p.m. last night. RCMP and other searchers say that weather conditions continue to be a concern. Well, we need to take a break, but when we come back, a residential school survivor's journey for healing.
I haven't come back here because of what's still in my mind, what I witnessed here, the mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse.
This next story is about a chief who recently traveled to Rome to confront his past as a residential school survivor and the journey he has been on for healing. Here's APTN's Tina House with his story.
It's been years since Chief Ralph Leon Jr. has been back to his former residential school.
I haven't come back here because of what's still in my mind, what I witnessed here, the mental abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, verbal abuse that I witnessed here. So, you know, with no amount of money, no counselor could ever take that away from my mind. So it's going to always be there.
Chief Leon says he was 10 years old when he was forcibly taken from his community of Stehalis and brought here to St. Mary's. And unbeknownst to him, it was only a half-hour away from his home. It was first opened in 1863 as a boarding school, but then reopened as a residential school in 1882. It closed down in 1984, but with that closure, countless stories emerged of horrendous abuses that took place here. In 2004, a former school employee was convicted of 12 counts of indecent assault and sentenced to 3 years in prison. The former residential school is now being used for office space for his nation and a daycare, but as we tour inside, he recalls horrific memories as we enter this small room.
This area, this was a storage room where they kept the mops and brooms and stuff like that. And I'm surprised the sink is still there. But this little room you didn't want to end up in. You know, the things I witnessed in this room is, you know, devastating to any human being, you know. And I never wish that on to any child, you know. All the abuses happened in this room. So it's my first time looking in this room for years. Holy, it looks way different.
And as the tour continued, we met the live-in janitor who has now converted the former boys' dormitory into his own small apartment.
And that's where my bedroom used to be in there. My bed used to be.
And on the other side of the apartment is now a storage area, but also where another part of the dormitory continued.
This was our intermediate dorm. Our washrooms were in here. Our showers were here. Place where we brushed our teeth is here. It's where they cut our hair. And yeah, once we were up here, we weren't allowed to leave.
And these are the original sinks from back then. And then the janitor offered to take us to the second floor, which is kept locked, where we were shocked to find this. An actual jail cell with a small toilet and a small bed. Chief Leon says he didn't even know this existed, or what could possibly be any reason for why it was built for a child.
I knew about certain places, but if we weren't allowed there, then we didn't know.
Are you shocked to see this cell here in a school?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of anybody having to come here?
I knew of my ancestors, the ones that passed. They used to tell me the stories of, you don't want to be too bad, end up in rooms like this. And, you know, it's what they have control of is something that we never wish on anybody.
And even more shockingly is a child's playground just outside of the window with bars. APTN was not able to confirm if this jail cell was from the residential school era, but there is no other explanation, and other survivors from across Canada have testified that they recall jail cells in other residential schools. And back outside the former school, Chief Leon reflects on how his experience here has changed his life.
The people that are probably watching this, they can understand what I'm saying. They could see that my hair is short and it's combed. The clothes that I'm wearing is modern. So this place did its job.
And as he sings this honor song, he says he is also thinking about the fact that he, along with his wife and a few family members, are about to fly to Rome, Italy, to join a delegation to confront Pope Francis about the impacts of residential schools on Indigenous people.
We're like a broken people still. This is only one residential school. There's still the Scoop, you know, foster care, day school, all those things. And it started where? So, squallow, I'm going to be strong when I go over there. The things that I gathered from my community, you know, I'm going to stand tall like the totem pole.
And just 1 week later, they arrived in Rome, Italy, to continue their path to healing. And on this day, April 1st, 2022, Pope Francis issued a formal apology and promised to come to Canada in the near future. How does it feel to be here at this moment right now, standing in the courtyard of the Vatican?
Today is a historical day. Historical day for our ancestors, historical day for our elders of today, our survivors of today. And I come here, come here with a strong spirit, the strength that we gathered from our home, the strength that we gathered from our children, and we come here with only good intentions.
And for Chief Leon and his wife Annie, who also attended boarding school, he says it's helped them on their own healing journey.
It's a big step forward, you know, a step forward of being here. The spirit of our ancestors are here with us. And that's why it's emotional. Today, I'm really grateful for my culture.
Tina House, APTN National News, Rome.
The National Indian Residential School Crisis Line is available for survivors and others who might need support. You can call that number at 1-866-925-4419. We need to take another break, but here's something that we're working on for you.
I'm Chris Stewart. Learning never stops. Just ask 80-year-old Edna Rain. She went back to school to sharpen her skills.
I like English. I like math too, because math is makes your head spin. Isn't that the way to learn? You have to figure out something to learn something.
That story is coming up soon to the APTN National News.
Welcome back. It's time now for our photo of the day. Our regular contributor Dave Menzies sent this photo from late last week after a snowstorm hit southern Manitoba. Hundreds of chickadees visited Dave's feeder in the Steinbach area, and he was able to snap this great little photo. You can keep all of those photos coming. We love these nature shots. Send them to share at aptn.ca for a chance to be featured as our next photo of the day. Let's take a look now at tomorrow's weather forecast. We've got cloud and 7 for St. John's, sunshine and 7 for Charlottetown. Kuujjuaq -5 and sunny skies. Nain is mostly sunny -1. Set Hills, rain expected 2 degrees. Chibougamau, you might get some flurries, 3 degrees there. Ottawa, showers 9 degrees. Sault Ste. Marie, you're getting some showers too, and 6. So look out, chance of flurries, 5 degrees. Big Trout Lake, flurries for you too, -1. Sunshine though for northern Manitoba. Churchill, -9, 3 in God's Lake. 4 and sunny in Gimli, 4 with the chance of flurries in Winnipeg. 4 and showers for Swift Current. Sunshine and 4 for North Battleford and Saskatoon. 6 and sunny for Buffalo Narrows. Stony Rapids, 7 and sunshine. Lots of sun for northern Alberta. 11 in Fort Mac, 9 in Grand Prairie and Peace River. Lethbridge, chance of flurries, 7 degrees. Sunshine and 3 for Red Deer. 10 in showers for Kamloops, 11 and showers for Vancouver. Prince George, sunny and 11 degrees. Dease Lake, some showers and 7. Dawson City, 5 and sunny. Whitehorse and Watson Lake, both sunny and 6 degrees. -6 and sunny for YT. Norman Wells, -3 with a chance of flurries. Inuvik, -5 and sunshine. Polytech, -15 and snow. Chesterfield, -15 and sunny. Newyacht, -18, nothing but sun. Pangertung, -7 and flurries. Igloolik, -19 but clear skies. Well, apparently puzzle boxes are a popular thing to collect. Their intricate design and mechanics can make them surprisingly difficult to solve. One of the world's best puzzle box creators happens to be an Ojibwe man. He lives on the Chippewas of Georgiana Island First Nation in Ontario. Annette Francis takes us there.
Kelly Snake spends a lot of his time in this little workshop, and he's eager to show off how one of his creations works.
What we have here is a multi-step puzzle. When it's finished, it's going to be over 100 moves. And so you have to get through all of the stuff that's down below here. There's stuff that's not finished down here yet. But once you get in here, there's actually real treasure. We have a 2012 Year of the Dragon silver coin that's secretly hidden inside this box as well. And once you just know the right maneuvers, it pops right out. So, and a lot of things like that happen. Drawers pop out, spring-loaded. It's such a fun experience.
His mechanical boxes are built with such intricate detail, they're wanted by many collectors across the globe.
CEOs love this kind of stuff. It challenges their brain. I have a lot of university professors, people who have been successful in business. They're finding that these things are a lot like mental gym, right? So that it exercises their mind because there's a known solution. And knowing that it's known, and you still have to solve it, it's a real challenge for them. So that's why these guys have whole rooms full of these puzzles.
And he's sold many.
They've all sold. They sold within 5 minutes of me showing the first one. Everybody was so keen to get one. Yeah, and so these are $8,000 Canadian.
Snake really loves making these boxes. He puts a lot of thought into them. Although he won't show us all the secrets, he makes smaller recycled puzzle boxes that he's happy to share with everyone.
Look how beautiful the artwork on that is, right? I just love it. And so it's locked. But what you do is you go, oh, you know, with this box here, you think of the color cerulean blue and it will unlock. And I'll show you. And I'll say, okay, think of the color cerulean blue and tell me when you got it. Okay, ooh, look at that. See it unlocked. It was all just me. But then what I do is I'll say, then you got to do this move where you tap it. And then with one move, the lid unlocks and opens.
Another thing Snake desires to do is pass along his passion for these boxes to children.
I want to inspire kids. So I designed this one day. It just popped into my mind. I don't even know. And basically what it is, there's a door here, and it's locked by 5 dials, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the way it works is that there's a child that's going to solve this side, and then using cooperative learning, the children watching this side are able to give clues using native language, math, poetry.
In fact, Snake held a puzzle box workshop with some 3rd and 4th graders at the school on his reserve and hopes to do more of that. Annette Francis, APTN National News from Snake's workshop on Georgina Island.
That is wild. Well, sexual harassment and Indigenous political organizations, sexual violence in our homes, in our communities, even places that we thought to be safe, like grassroots movements and healing centers, we know that predators and pests can lurk. In Focus has embarked on a 2-part series examining sexual violence and misconduct. Today we heard from women and what they want to see from men.
You know, I think, you know, when we look at the misogyny and the patriarchy that exists, you know, across this country, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why women, you know, and the 2S community have to often navigate systems and advocate systems and seek justice without the support, you know, of the male community, you know, and I think it's time for, you know, many of our Indigenous men and boys, you know, to really reclaim their warrior roles and say enough is enough, you know, because Indigenous women and girls, you know, and the 2S community have been victimized for long enough. Not only are we victimized outside of our communities when we leave, you know, but we're also victimized within our nations and our communities, and it's time to, you know, bring this issue to the forefront and to talk about it and to address it and to ensure that there's adequate resources.
To have a healthy community and what have you, we need to include the men. They need healing. You know, our Indigenous men and boys, they've also go missing or have been murdered. And they've been violated due to the, you know, the whole colonialism impact and oppression. So, you know, they need to be there as well, and we need to be able to work together.
And I'd like to see men call other men out. When a chief is charged, for example, we don't hear anything from other chiefs.
No. Silence.
And there's that silence around it. I don't know what would be so wrong with saying, you know, we're really upset, angry, even dismayed to hear that happened. We hope that the, you know, alleged victim, if you will, is okay, is getting what she or he needs. And, you know, we can't say anything right now because it's before the courts, but we are not happy to hear that happened and there's an investigation. I don't know what's so wrong about saying something like that.
You can watch that episode, or you can listen to it as a podcast. You can find it on our website, aptnnews.ca/infocus. Next week, on part 2 of that series on Infocus, we're going to sit down with the men to talk about what they're doing to address the violence amongst themselves. Looking forward to that conversation on April 27th. Well, we are all out of time for your national news tonight. I'm Melissa Ridgen. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.